Here's Rhonda's barbershop, and she's showing up for work.
Hey everybody, how are you? It's great to meet y'all. My name is Rhonda Randolph and I'm from Hueytown, Alabama. If you don't know much about Hueytown, this is NASCAR country. Let me just tell you, we are home of the Allisons, the Bonnets, and even Red Farmer comes here, and he comes to my barbershop to get his hair cut. This is one of my pride and joys. This is my 72 Ford F100 truck. Her name is Tallulah, and I drive her every day, and I'm in the process of restoring her and fixing her all up. Ain't she something? Well, come on in. I want to show you the barbershop. This is Dolly's old time barbershop. Y'all come on in. Here's my welcome sign with my guns a showing. Everybody's welcome at Dolly's. Well, I wanted to tell y'all the reason I named my barbershop Dolly's. That's because, believe it or not, I'm a retired Dolly Parton impersonator. If you want to look over here, this is a picture of me when I'm all dolled up like Dolly. I've got the big wig, I've got the big boobs. The girls are sitting home on my dresser though, because all this is just a big bra with quilt backing. Well, I'd like to take a seat and I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I have been married for 29 years. I met my husband when I was 15 in our local church. And believe it or not, true story, you can't make this up, on my 18th birthday, he came to the school and he checked me out. And everybody about freaked out, but we ran off, we went to the courthouse, and then got married, and we've been together ever since. Now, I have to tell you something. Besides me being a Dolly Parton impersonator, I want to show you this. You ain't gonna believe it. If you look right over here, this is my husband. I don't know one redneck southern woman that don't love Elvis, and let me tell you, for about 15 years I had one of my very own. He's also retired. The two of us moved and we lived in Branson, Missouri for about 15 years. And when we were in Branson, we performed a show together. I was Dolly and he was Elvis, and it was called Double Trouble. And we traveled the world. We had a wonderful time. But when our kids started growing up, I have 2 kids, by the way. When they started growing up and got ready to go to college and have a life on their own, we decided to retire and move back here to Hueytown, Alabama, because all our family and friends are here, and I had always dreamed of having a barbershop. Now, I will tell you, my barbershop is very unique. It's kind of like, if you think about a Floyd's of Mayberry. All my sweet little customers come in, and I tell you what, no day is ever the same. I have Dolly's barbershop, and I usually have my guard dog named Jolene. I have got a full-grown German Shepherd that sits up here with me. I also, as you can tell, our family is huge gun lovers. You see this right here? This is a .357 Magnum, and I call this my partner Kenny. You know, Dolly always had a Kenny. This is Kenny Rogers, and Kenny goes with me everywhere. I wear this gear strapped up 24/7. This actually was my Christmas present. So you got extra bullets for my son. And why? Because he's a gunsmith of all things. So for Mother's Day and birthdays, I don't get flowers and jewelry, I get guns. Now, the fun thing is, my son just recently got married to a precious little girl named Bailey. We had a wedding out in the middle of the woods under a tree, and I actually wore a pair of overalls. Yes, I did. And we had us a hee-haw wedding, but it's what they wanted, and we had a wonderful time. Now, the wonderful thing about Bailey is she fits right in our family because of my love for trucks. She's going to school to be a diesel mechanic, and both of them are welders. We also have a daughter, and she lives out in Arkansas right now, and she's getting married to a young man named Dalton, who was her childhood best friend. The cool thing about them is they have 250 head of cattle. They got pigs, they got chickens, they got bunnies, they got ducks, and they have horses. Now, I absolutely love horses, and I love riding horses. I've never owned my own horse, so I don't know nothing about rodeoing or that kind of stuff, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I ever got a chance to barrel race, I'd jump on that thing and go. That'd be a sight. I am not opposed to that at all. Well, I want to tell you a little bit about what I've done. In our life, I always feel like you always prepare, you always can't be afraid to step into new opportunities. And in my life, I have done a little bit of everything. I have done everything. For my husband and I had an opportunity to be foster parents for the Alabama Sheriff's Boys and Girls Ranches. We had 14 special need kids, and then we had R2. And we ended up having to leave and quit doing that because when we had our son Nathaniel, he was born and he had a few health issues. And so we had to concentrate on getting him healthy. So I have done everything from waiting tables. I got my real estate license. I have been a retail manager. I've worked a makeup counter, and I've been a medical assistant. And I have to tell you, when we moved to Branson, before I became Dolly, I didn't become a Dolly impersonator until after we had moved to Branson. My husband was already doing Elvis. But in the short time that we lived out there, one of the first jobs I had was working as a medical assistant. So I went in and started. It was for a gynecologist office. And I'm going to tell you something. This is a true story. You can't make this stuff up. I went in and I met the doctor, and he said, "Hi, my name is Richard, but everybody calls me Dick." And I said, "Well, okay." And so he was, I called him Dick too. That's what he wanted me to call him. Well, it wasn't until I heard the receptionist answering the phone I realized his last name was Dr. Stiff. So I really did work for a gynecologist named Dick Stiff. Ain't that something? You can't make that up. Lord have mercy. But I think this has been, coming back to my hometown, this has been absolutely one of my favorite, best jobs ever. I tell people all the time I'm an old-fashioned, straight razor shaving, pistol packing, old-fashioned barber. And if you come into Dolly's, you not only are going to get a hug and a haircut, you're going to feel years younger and far more attractive. Well, I also want to tell y'all a little bit about the things that I enjoy and I absolutely love doing. I love going to thrift stores. I'm a thrift store-aholic. I hope you like my outfit because every last bit of it came from the thrift store. As you can tell, I have a pretty strong accent. My accent is a little bit stronger than most people's from this area, but that's just because my daddy's people was raised up in more North Alabama. They were super country and they were dirt poor. So I take more after his people and I sound like him. So my voice is 100% all me. Everything else you see has been bought and paid for. Well, it's the truth of the matter. What you see is what you get, and I am as real as you can get. But as far as activities and things we like to do, we love fishing. We have a bass boat, and I'm going to tell you something, ladies. If you ever want a romantic evening, you go night fishing and take that bass boat out on the lake after dark. That's pretty romantic stuff right there. Then we have always camped. We love dirt bike riding. I don't ride actual dirt bikes anymore. I ride four-wheelers because with me doing what I do, I don't want to tump over and break an arm or something. So we love to ride four-wheelers. I love my dogs. I've got a little Yorkie that's 5 pounds named Tinkerbell, and she actually is my dirt bike riding buddy. She rides. She goes everywhere with me. Then I have my German Shepherd Jolene, who's my guard dog, and she stays up here. I like to, of course, we love guns. We have lots of guns. When I go to my daughter's, we can ride horses and stuff. I love anything that has to do with the outdoors. But I would love the opportunity to meet y'all in person. There is just too much I can put in just a short video. But I look forward to seeing you and talking to you, and I guarantee I'm just what y'all been looking for. Thanks.